All right, hi everyone and welcome. So glad you could join tonight. And this evening we are going to focus on some hip openers. It is a regular request that I get for this class, and I think you might find it kind of similar to most classes, because really hip openers are in every yoga class, whether intentional or not. Most of the warrior poses are great for hip opening, and just so many of our regular poses are really helpful. So even still, we're going to add even more. And one thing we'll focus on today is setting ourselves up for a meditation posture, so for a seated pose. A lot of people feel pretty uncomfortable in just this classic seated meditation pose. So we're going to do some stretches and exercises that will help us get here, so that maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through class we can take a pause and do a little bit of seated meditation with music, and just notice if we feel any better having done those warm-ups first. So let's start lying down today, and we're going to start in a restorative hip opening pose, simply bringing feet together and knees open. So it's like a lying down version of butterfly or cobbler's pose. Now, if this pose is uncomfortable already for you, you can just grab a pillow or a block and place it right under your knees. Doesn't have to be an official yoga pose, could just be a pillow from your bed or some rolled up towels. And we will be here for a couple of minutes, so if you're wondering if it's worth getting up and getting something, I'd say go for it. But if you're just feeling that little bit of a stretch, I'd say maybe you don't need a prop at the moment, and just breathe and see if it softens and releases a bit. So in this posture, you can bring your hands to your belly, your ribs, wherever you like, just making some contact with your hands on your body. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Notice if your chin is jutting towards the sky. Can you even take your hands and lengthen your neck to tuck your chin a little bit? Allow your breath to move deep into your lungs. Feel free to let out a sigh. Noticing if you're gripping at all in your hips or your legs, and see if you can soften. Keep breathing in deeply and slowly. Just letting the cares of the day melt away. And allowing yourself to become rooted right here, right now. You may be in a room by yourself or a home by yourself, but remember, I am here with you, and there are people all over the country and maybe even the world practicing together right now. Feel free to stay here if you're enjoying it, or you might slide your feet down a little bit towards the bottom of your mat to change the stretch. You might feel the stretch a little bit more in the outsides of your hips or the tops and backs of your legs. If it's uncomfortable, you can always undo, come back to where you started, or just straighten your legs. But either way, let's take a few more rounds of nice slow breath here. Just let it all go. Whatever your day has held so far, trust that this next hour will hold something peaceful for you, maybe something a little bit magical, certainly something nourishing, and maybe even fun. As you're ready, press your heels together, straighten your legs, reach your arms overhead, big long stretch throughout your whole body, creating space for blood flow and space for new ideas and experiences. From here, hug in just your right leg. Bend your knee and clasp your hands outside of your shin or behind your leg if that's not possible today. So you can begin to incorporate a bit of arm strength here by really pulling your leg in closer. Notice the grip, so which thumb is on top, and this is probably your automatic grip, so when we do the other side, we'll switch. This pose, Pavamuktasana, is great for digestion. We'll hold for a couple of more breaths. See if you can get that leg a little bit closer. Not pushing through if you feel any sharp pain, but if it's just a stretch, you can go for it. When you're ready, flex your right foot and reach your heel towards the sky. You can clasp your hands behind your leg. Don't worry if your leg is as high or as straight as mine. Some of you might have straighter and even more stretchy legs than I do. But the goal here is just working towards feeling a stretch in the back of the leg and some engagement in the front of the leg. So we're not just hanging out here. We're starting to engage and turn on, warm those muscles up. You can point and flex your foot, getting a stretch maybe down your calf, your Achilles, all through your ankle. Take some circles with your foot in one direction and the other. And then from here you can sway your leg left and right. Feel free to stay and breathe if you find a spot where you really enjoy the stretch or feel like you need more of a stretch. And if this type of exercise is not comfortable on your low back, what you can do is just bend your bottom leg, and that'll give you more support to get your low back down to the floor. From here, we'll come to figure four, so everyone can bend that bottom leg, cross the ankle over the thigh. Stay here if you've already got a stretch going, or hug your leg in closer. Keeping that same grip from whence you started. I don't know if that's appropriate use of whence. I don't really know, but I've been watching the show Bridgerton. So I've got all kinds of old English words going around in my head right now. Is anyone else watching that show, I wonder? You'll have to let me know at the end. Once again, you can use the strength of your biceps here to pull your legs in a little bit closer, getting a deeper stretch as you begin to release and soften. You can stretch a little bit deeper. A few more deep breaths. ready, slowly unwind, stretch out long once more. A couple big breaths and big sighs. And other side. So now you can switch the grip. Opposite thumb on top. And once again, turning on your biceps here to pull the leg in a little bit closer. Keeping your neck long, chin tucked. A few more deep breaths. Alright, I guess that's the sign to switch. So you could flex your left foot, reach your heel to the sky. Clasp your hands behind your leg, keeping that alternate clasp. Matt's got some new pedals and some of them have been misbehaving. So hopefully that will be our only surprise of the class. You can point and flex your foot. And make some ankle circles in one direction and the other. And sway your leg left and right. Feel free to stay and breathe if you find a place that feels good. And when you're ready, come back to center and figure 4 on the other side. Left ankle crosses over, right leg, and hug it all in. If your hands need a little bit of a break, you can always wiggle your fingers, take some wrist circles, and then come back to it. So we're starting out a little bit slower today with some stretching and waking up the muscles of the lower body. And I'm curious to see how you feel when we're in the warrior poses in a little bit, having done some of this preparatory work. Maybe you feel a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more ready to go. Maybe not, but that's for you to explore and notice. And when you're ready, you can unwind. Bring your shins to parallel so that you're making a nice 90-degree angle here with your knees. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, press your lower back down into the mat. And see if you can breathe here with your back pressed into the mat. If so, you can move on, and we're going to dip one foot at a time. Inhaling to drop the right toes and exhaling to lift them back up. Inhaling left toes and exhale, return. So you can keep going just like this. Hands can be wherever feels most supported to you. And if you do need a little extra support, a great option is to put your hands under your hips here. So this is a great way to just fire up the core and start to notice some of these supportive muscles. And if you're ready for something even more, you can do both feet at the same time. Moving nice and slow. Let's just do one more. Really, really slow it down. And drop both feet to the mat. Spread them nice and wide. We'll just take some windshield wiper legs here, knees to one side, and breathe. And other side. Come back to center and take your time rocking and rolling all the way to all fours. I'll pause here to put in my pack and I'll meet you in tabletop. All right, hips over knees and hands right below the shoulders or a little bit out if that feels better on your hands. And we'll just take a few rounds of cat-cow here. When you're ready, bring your big toes together to touch, spread your knees nice and wide, and sit back for child's pose. Walk your hands forward and drop your forehead down to the mat. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you today. Walk your way over to the right side to get a stretch down your left side. Head can be lifted or lowered, whatever you like to get that nice stretch. And other side. Got a little surprise here on my mat. When you're ready, come back to center. Lift back up to all fours and we'll meet in downward dog. Tuck your toes, press down evenly into both hands, and hips high to the sky. Heels reaching towards the floor. Press your upper body back towards your lower. Lengthen through the backs of the legs. Relax your head and neck. When you're ready, walk your way all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Slowly roll to stand. Arms reach overhead. And palms meet at heart center. Take a moment here to just reorient. Check where your weight is and see if you can bring it right to that center point. When you're ready, sweep your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back with your right foot for lunge. Take your time walking up to a high lunge. You might come to your fingertips, then walk your way up your leg. And then palms come to open. This one is a little bit harder than it looks, so engaging through the back leg, strong through the front leg, weight balanced even between the 2 feet. Maybe for the last couple of breaths, arms to the sky. We'll transition to a low lunge next, so you can get there however is comfortable, but if it feels okay for you, you can keep extending your arms high, fingertips reaching, as you lower the back leg. Knee comes down, and then hands lower, coming to the top of your front leg, and you can extend a little bit further, dropping your hips. Nice deep breaths here. If it's too much on your knee, try untucking your foot, your back foot, and pressing in a little bit to take any pressure off of your knee. Drop your right hand to the floor. We'll take just a gentle twist to the left. Breathing here, nice and slowly. And back to center. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. This transition's a little tricky. We're gonna step back for plank. You can lower right down or drop to your knees, hug your elbows in, and with your upper body as one whole mechanism, come all the way down. Lengthen through your lower body. Press the tops of your feet down, press your hips down, and inhale for Cobra. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here in Cobra. Strong through the backside. Moving mindfully through this transition, you can lower and then press all the way back for downward dog. Holding here for just a few breaths. And slowly walk forward. Lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Slowly roll to stand. Fingertips extending high, reach, reach, reach. And swan dive forward, other side. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Step back for lunge, left foot steps behind you. Once again, take your time coming up to high lunge. Get there in stages if you'd like. Palms open to start. Maybe getting a stretch through the webbing of your hands, your fingers. Check if the weight is even between front foot and back foot. And if you'd like, arms to the sky. Nice strong pose here. Reach your fingertips even higher as you slowly dip left knee to the mat. Fingertips come down, hands to the top of the right thigh. You can walk your foot forward a bit as you lower the hips. Keeping strong through your core even while you're in this pose. That'll help your back stay nice and comfortable. If the top of your leg is really talking to you right now, you're probably not alone. Most of us have a little bit of tightness here, especially if those of us who work at a desk. Drop your left hand down. And nice big twist, open to the right, arm to the sky, or you can keep it right here on your leg. Come back to center. Take your time finding your way to plank. I'm gonna walk myself back here and lower all the way down. This time, let's rise for upward facing dog. Drop your knees. Big toes come together to touch, and sit back. Any version of child's pose you'd like. Drop your forehead to the floor. Nice deep breaths here. Release everything so you can enter the next round of sun salutes with your full strength and full focus. Shift forward to all fours and downward dog. Walk or jump to the front of your mat for forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Slowly rise. Arms reach to the sky. Mini back bend at the top. Gaze to the sky. And hands come to heart center. You can close your eyes for a breath or two here if you'd like. Just breathe. Alright, one more round of sun salutes here. This time, warrior one. Inhale, arms sweep to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Step your right foot back to warrior one. So same as lunge, but back foot is 45-degree angle. Press down into your front heel as you rise to standing. Hands come to heart center. Take a couple breaths here wherever you land. And then if you feel like it's accessible to you, you can begin to deepen your warrior one a little bit. Maybe slide your front foot forward or your back foot. And there's going to be a little arch here in your lower back, but just trying to avoid that kind of overarch there. Stay here if you'd like, or for a little balance challenge, left hand to your hip, right hand reaches up and over. Still staying long through your torso here. And back to center. Hands come to your hips, straighten through your front leg. Nice, strong, long back. Lean forward any amount. You can stay right here, or you can reach for the floor and release. Head and neck just relaxing. Pivot your back foot to forward. You can step it in if you'd like for pyramid. Plant your right hand and left hand comes to your hip for a little revolved twist here. So left foot is forward and we're twisting to the left side. Keep the spine long, nice deep breaths. Come back to center. Hands come down. You can just stay here, or if you want, you can walk your hands forward and lift your back leg to parallel. Wherever you are, step back now. Hands come to the floor and both feet meet at the back of the mat for plank. Lower all the way. This time we'll take some rolling Cobra breaths. So inhale to rise. And exhale to lower. We'll do that 3 more times. Go at your own pace. See if you can lengthen as you rise. Last one, nice and slow. And for a little neck stretch, we'll just drop right cheek to the mat, hands by your sides, and relax. Let it all just go. Close your eyes here and feel your back rise and fall with each breath. One or two more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, chin comes back to center and press yourself to all fours and downward dog. Slowly make your way to the front of the mat for forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And roll to stand. Arms reach at the top, gaze to the sky, mini back bend. And straighten to the other side, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And fold this time, planting the hands and stepping left foot back for warrior one. Take your time, no rush here. Landing in warrior one with hands at heart center. Take a few breaths, just noticing And then if you'd like, you can begin to deepen your warrior one. You can stay right here, or right hand to your hip, left arm to the sky, gentle side stretch, reaching to the right side. And back to center. Straighten through your front leg. Nice long spine as you shift forward. Hands to the floor. Release your head and neck. Pivot your back foot so that your toes face forward. Left hand plants down and right hand comes to your right hip to twist open, revolving pyramid. Unwind, stay right here, or if you'd like, walk your hands forward, lift your back foot, hips parallel to the floor. This is sort of halfway between warrior 3 and standing splits. Step your foot all the way back and take your time coming to plank pose. Lowering all the way down. This time we'll reach the hands back and by your sides. Press your hips down into the floor, and on your inhale, lift everything up like an airplane, extending your limbs. You can keep your chin tucked, lengthening through your heart space. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just one more breath here. And lower this time. Left cheek comes down to the mat. Breathe here. Release through your neck. Soften your jaw. Just breathe. When you're ready, come back to center and press yourself all the way up to all fours and then kneeling. So we're gonna do a little hip opener here. It's kind of like a frog pose. If you're on carpet, you can just stay with that same orientation. If you're not on carpet, you might go long ways on your mat. So we're gonna spread the knees nice and wide. Big toes come together to touch. Your knees might not be quite as wide as mine, but however wide they are is great. And then you can come down to your forearms, and we're just gonna shift the weight forward and back. Don't worry about this being super exact. Just trying to get a nice stretch here through the insides of the legs, the groin. You can move your hands and arms forward and back. If it's uncomfortable on your knees, you could try this one again later and put some extra padding under. Just rocking back and forth, coming through center. And you can stay and breathe if you find a spot that feels good. So in frog pose, the feet are going to be parallel with the knees, so feet are open. And you can try that if you want. It's a little bit harder. And when you're ready, walk yourself back up. Give yourself some support as you bring your knees together. And you can just come to kneeling, press your hips forward for a little partial camel here. Great job, everyone. If you want to grab a sip of water, you can do that now. Well, you can always grab a sip of water. And when you're ready, we're going to come to standing one final time here. So for a while, chair pose was one of my most challenging poses, and I think it still kind of is. It's a lot for me in the upper body to be extending and reaching in different directions. So I found a way that I like to do chair as an exercise, and it's a little bit of moving instead of static. So we're going to you can actually have your feet together or apart. There are different ways that different styles of yoga do chair pose. I'm going to demonstrate knees apart. Feet as if they're on a railroad track, perfectly parallel. Hands come to heart center. And then as you sit back, reach the arms forward. Imagine someone's pulling your hips back and someone else has your hands and they're pulling them in the other direction. And then just pressing the heels to return. So we'll just do a few rounds of that. Take your own pace here. All right, 2 more rounds. Really reaching. Like you would fall back, except someone has those hands. And you can do a circle with the arms if you like to. Last time. And return. And we'll just sway and shake that out. So you can just keep doing that. We'll come back for one more round of chair. Or if you'd like, since we've been working on these hip openers, we'll try one-legged chair pose. So for one-legged chair pose, really grounding down through the left leg. You can bring a little bit of a bend and then try out crossing the right ankle on top here, right on top of the thigh, close to the knee. From here, sit back any amount that feels good for you. You can keep your hands right on your hips or reach them forward. And we'll take just a few breaths here, sinking down a little further each time. Nice and slowly come on out. And other side, bringing the weight to the right foot. Left foot crosses as you sit back. And maybe reaching the arms to the sky. Great job. Slowly come out. You made it. We're going to come all the way down now to the mat for a seated twist. So if you have a certain seated twist that you like, you can certainly try that. Otherwise, we're going to try crossing right leg. Let's try this way. Both legs out long, and then we're going to cross left leg over right. You can stay here, or you can then bend your right leg so that your foot comes right by your hip. First step is sitting up nice and tall and long. Left hand reaches behind, and then right arm is gonna hook over the other side of your left leg, or if that doesn't work, just holding the leg. If it works to hook it, you'll have a little bit of leverage here. So grow tall and twist to the left. Hand can be up or down, wherever you like. Maybe going to that place of first resistance, breathing deeply, and then going a little bit further. One more inhale. Unwind part way. Breathe here. And unwind all the way. To switch sides, stretch your legs out long. You can take a little reverse plank here and lift your hips if you like. And then we'll try the other side. Lower your hips back down. Cross right foot over the left leg, and then left leg can bend. Right arm reaches behind, propping you up for a nice tall posture. Left hand can come to the leg, or maybe that elbow hooks all the way around. Growing long and tall as you twist open to the right. Maybe coming first to whatever place gives you resistance. Take some nice deep breaths. And as things soften and release, you may twist a little bit further. One more deep breath here, and unwind part way. And then unwind all the way. Stretch your legs out, give them a shake. Cross your legs, maybe right leg in front of left or left in front of right. And we'll just take a couple of cat-cow stretches through the back here. So if you feel comfortable here, we're going to come to a still seated position. But if you aren't feeling great, you can also grab a pillow or a block or a blanket, whatever you've got, and just sit up on it. If you still just can't relax and settle in, you can also lie down or sit in a chair or do something that feels better. Wherever you are, grow along through your spine. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. With each inhale, feel your body filling up with nourishing breath. With each exhale, allowing your body to release, letting go of something you don't need in this moment. Maybe taking a moment to imagine yourself like a magnet, allowing all the good things in the universe to be attracted to you, to come your way. not stealing or taking from anyone else, but trusting that there is an abundance of peacefulness, an abundance of happiness, an abundance of goodness for everybody. You absorb all of this goodness, and at the same time, with each exhale, your own peacefulness, your own goodness is entering back into the universe. In this way, we can share and receive. Grow a little bit taller, a little bit prouder through the chest. You are like a little peace factory, creating peace in the world around you, releasing it into the world and attracting it to you. As you're ready, drop your chin to your chest, breathe into the back of your neck, and take a little half moon shape, bringing one ear to one shoulder and rocking it forward, and other ear to other shoulder. Hands can come by your sides if you like. Treating yourself gently and kindly here. When you're ready, you're welcome to stay here, or you can mindfully move all the way down to lying. If you're lying on your back, you might hug your knees into your chest and rock a little side to side. Take any final movements that feel good to you. And then land in your final resting pose, Savasana. Any version you like, legs out long or knees bent. You don't need any guidance. You already know how to relax your whole body. Set an intention right now to have trust in the ground beneath you and just let go. Let your mind soften its grip, trusting that any important lessons, any goals or aspirations will stick with you. You don't need to catalog things right this moment. You don't need to hold anything tight in your mind. Trust that anything important will softly rest and wait for you. Right now, all you need to do is relax. Take a few more breaths here, inhaling peace and exhaling peace. When you're ready, take this sense of peacefulness with you as you move ever so mindfully, ever so thoughtfully, taking your time and coming all the way to seated. Take a full minute to get there. When you get to seated, you can bring your hands to heart center. Keep your eyes closed and just take a few breaths here. You are a most wonderful creature. You are loved, and your capacity for love is infinite. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste. All right, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful night. Big thanks to Matt, and thanks from Matt and I to you for joining us. We always love having you here every Tuesday and really appreciate all of your donations. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions or requests for next week.